Hello everyone, my name is Zeotrax, and today I'm doing a review for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. But wait, didn't I just do a Doctor Strange review? Well, I rewatched that and I decided that I'm not happy with how that came out. So I'm going to do another one and kind of get my thoughts more clearer and do a better version. If you want to see that mess of a review, check the links down below. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness was released May 6th of 2022 and is directed by Sam Raimi, which pretty obvious if you watch this movie. This is the best looking Marvel movie yet. I love it when Marvel movies, you can tell that a Marvel movie is directed by a director such as James Gunn or Taiki, and this shows. The film has such amazing visuals, such as when the main villain is chasing our heroes down a tunnel, or a scene with mirrors where they shove their hands through the puddles, or when Strange visits the Dark World. Truly beautiful stuff, and the performances help elevate this. Elizabeth Olsen does such a good job as Wanda here. Now, I like Elizabeth Olsen as Wanda. I'm not someone who hates Wanda as a character, but I definitely feel like that she is being defended. Not Elizabeth Olsen. Wanda is being defended a bit too much, and we'll get into that with spoilers. And you know, the person who plays America Chavez, Wong, Cumberbatch, they all do a really good job as their characters. Let's get to the things I disliked about the film. It is called the Multiverse of Madness, which, is it madness? Yes, it's madness, but it's not a lot of multiverse in my opinion. They only visit like 2 universes throughout this movie, and that's really it. And there's just a little montage of the film. There's just like a little a few second clip where they go through all these different universes. Like, I wanted to see more of the noir universe. I wanted to see more of the cyberpunk universe. I wanted to see more universes like that in this movie, and I'm truly sad that we didn't see those kind of universes. But something that will disappoint people in the film is the lack of cameos. Which, listen, I was kind of expecting Deadpool, Doctor Doom, Wolverine. I was like gonna expect them, but with the cameos we did get, I was not too disappointed. I wasn't disappointed with them, but I feel like the reason why this movie has some negative reviews is because of the cameos. I think that is going to be set up in the Secret Wars movie that they are planning to do sometime soon, because this movie does kind of set that up in a way. We'll get into spoilers. But we do get I really like the cameos we get, but I do not like how they were marketed in the film. We know who most of them are, and there were only 2 that were kind of hidden, and we weren't supposed to know who they were. But unfortunately, I had one of them, preferably the more exciting one, spoiled for me. And the other one, I had no idea who it was. Fights were also a bit lacking at sometimes because it was really just people throwing magic fireballs at each other. I did like some of the fights, like the Gargantos fight, but the Gargantos fight had horrible CGI, in my opinion. Or integration of humans and CGI world, because the Gargantos model looks fantastic. I love how Gargantos look, but when Wong slides in, it's obviously fake, and that's kind of what I don't like. This isn't like Black Widow bad at CGI, it's just like wonky CGI, but luckily after a while the CGI did get better. Another thing I loved about this movie was that it was pushing the boundaries of PG-13. It is brutal, and I wouldn't want it any other way, and I wouldn't be surprised if it actually did get an R rating. There is about 40 minutes of footage that we have not seen yet that was in the first cut, so I assume that was cut because of, you know, like, hey, maybe it's unnecessary, or that was because that would have gotten the film an R rating. If so, please, I would love to see an R-rated cut of the movie, because that sometimes happens. And you know what, that's just what happens when you get Sam Raimi as your director. I have always loved Sam Raimi as a director. I love the Evil Dead movies, I love the original Spider-Man trilogy, and the dude just truly does some fantastic stuff in some fantastic stuff with his movies. So, before we get into spoilers, I'm going to rank this film an A-. It is a bit of a mess, especially the end and some elements, but it is one of the best MCU movies alongside Spider-Man No Way Home. And now, this is your last warning for spoilers, okay? And here we are, folks. We are now in the spoiler section of the video. So let's get into it. First of all, most obvious spoiler, the Illuminati. I really like this Illuminati lineup. I didn't know who these characters were beforehand, and you know, this isn't really a spoiler because we kind of didn't know the Illuminati would be in the movie, bringing back to the point of the characters being kind of spoiled in the trailers. You know how cool it would have been if we didn't know Professor X was in the movie? Like, Charles, with his character returning his role. We knew Captain Carter and Maria Rambeau were going to be in the movie because of advertisements and all that. And, you know, it's all that. But John Krasinski, Mr. Fantastic, such an amazing thing. And it was the one that got spoiled. Silly me. Maybe, hey, you go into a spoiler channel on Discord, you see a spoiler image, Doctor Strange comes out, you probably shouldn't be clicking on it, but I didn't think about it. But the only one I didn't really expect was Black Bolt, probably because I actually didn't know who Black Bolt was, because listen, okay, as I mentioned in my Venom review, I do not read the comics because I simply just do not know where to start in the comics or what to necessarily read, what storylines to begin with, because I am someone who gets most of my comic knowledge from what's in the movies, or I watch videos on it. So I didn't know who Black Bolt was, but he's from the Inhumans, and he's from the Inhumans, which was actually going to be an MCU movie, but then it got turned into a TV show, and this is the same actor, but yeah. So yeah. And Black Bolt gets the best fucking death in this movie. His damn head gets exploded. What mouth? Fucking awesome. And Wanda is just a cold-hearted killer in this movie. And I didn't expect her to be the villain of this movie. Because I just thought that like someone like Mordo or Gargantos would be the main villain. Or maybe even Doctor Strange Supreme, if that's his name. I would have expected him to be the main villain. I didn't expect Wanda to be the main villain, but honestly, it makes sense. The scene with the mirrors, like I mentioned, that is like something I would expect out of like fucking Conjuring or something. I don't know. I haven't seen those movies. I'm pulling shit out my ass. Like you would pull shit out of your ass. The tunnel scene, the scenes I didn't mention before, and there's this scene where like there's a right room. Professor Charles is just, hey, grab my hand, because of Wanda's backstory of her being in rubble, her family dying, and then the red smoke coming up, and then boom, jump scare, and it's like at least they had jump scares, and I'm gonna give it a pass. It's a Marvel movie, and she shows up behind some guy at the temple, and then says run. That was a really cool visual. And then they zoom into her eye to show like her mom version in the other universe. Really, really great. And it kind of adds a tragic side to the character. And then let's get into this point that kind of pisses me off. She did nothing wrong. Listen, she did a lot wrong. Before she was even corrupted by the Darkhold, she still kidnapped people and enslaved them inside of this town because a robotic vibrator broke. I got that from someone. I do not know who I got it from. But it's really frustrating. Wanda stans are honestly just the worst on Twitter. And then Wanda's like, oh, when that line, the line where she mentions, oh, so you're the hero, but when I do it, I'm the villain, makes sense because she had been corrupted by the Darkhold, so she would just start saying that shit in order to defend herself. But yeah, and the ending was also just straight up cool. They set up Zombie Strange to kind of be like a villain in the movie, but the fact that he was a hero was pretty fucking cool. I liked that. And then he uses all the souls to make a cape. Awesome. But at that fight scene, I do believe that I do believe that Wanda was a bit overpowered when America Chavez just kept punching her and like, oh, and then she grabs her hand. It's like, okay. And also the ending is pretty much just like, with the power of friendship, we can beat you too, and all that. It was a bit lackluster, and I do think Wanda's dead. I do think like she did die, but who knows? Elizabeth Olsen says she wants to play the character again, and she just recently said that she did want to be a part of an X-Men movie. Probably was Quicksilver, probably either Aaron Taylor Johnson or Peter Evans Quicksilver. So yeah. So then there's the mid and after credit scene, which let me talk about those real quick. So Clea visits Doctor Strange, and apparently he fucked up something in the multiverse. I like this because it sets up the future of the MCU, and then let's bring this back to the Secret Wars thing I was talking about. I feel like because Black Bolt from the Inhumans, Reed Richards from Fantastic Four, Maria Rambeau from the Celestials, and Captain Carter from the Avengers all got killed, and also Professor X. Since all of those guys got killed from their teams, I feel like we're going to see the X-Men. We're going to see the X-Men, that version of the... we're going to see the Inhumans. We're going to see the Celestials. We're going to see all of those people fight other people. And then maybe we can get more cameos, like Doctor Doom or Deadpool. Kind of did expect Deadpool to be in this movie. But yeah. But they're also going to set up some love relationship, because apparently Clea becomes a love interest. And I guess Doctor Strange has just moved on from Christine. Now, the after credits, that was pretty funny. But I'm so mad at myself that I didn't realize that was Bruce Campbell. Okay, then, Bruce Campbell. I mean, I should have thought, like, it's a Sam Raimi movie. I'm also sad that I didn't catch the car Easter egg. Because for those who don't know, there's a car, the Delta 88. It shows up in every Sam Raimi movie. And it's really cool and whatnot. But those wondering, yes, this is Purple Thunder, the new Mountain Dew flavor. Alright, so... And there's something that just, like, fucking... pisses me off with this movie so much that I kind of wanted to talk about. There's a severe lack of the greatest Marvel hero ever, because this is the Multiverse of Madness. I honestly felt like we should have brought back the man himself, the Dr. Michael Moore. Alright, if you guys did enjoy this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and you know what? Just tell me what I could do better, you know, because looking at that old review, it's like, God, I sucked. I do feel like I did a much better job with my review here than I did last time, so, yeah. Anyways, later Gators. That may not be a hint on what I'm planning to do next. So, until then, see ya.